The jet engines rumbled to life, echoing through the terminal as passengers settled into their plush first-class seats. Laughter, conversation, and the rustle of luxury filled the air, a perfect picture of wealth and privilege. And then she appeared. Evelyn Maynard, a 72-year-old farmer with sun-kissed, wrinkled skin and hands that had seen a lifetime of hard work. She wore a plaid shirt, faded jeans, and an old straw hat. Her shoes were worn, her demeanor calm. She looked completely out of place among designer handbags and tailored suits. When she quietly took her seat in first class, the cabin's polished atmosphere shifted. Whispers began to spread. Some passengers smirked. Others chuckled. A woman in pearls nudged her husband, pointing at Evelyn's clothes. The flight attendant, her uniform immaculate and smile stiff, approached with condescending politeness. "Ma'am," she said sweetly, "are you sure you're in the right section? This is first class." Evelyn nodded and handed over her ticket with trembling fingers. The attendant scanned it, her expression freezing for a split second before tightening again. "There must be some mistake," she muttered. "Please, gather your belongings and move to economy." The humiliation was public. A few passengers even clapped. A businessman snapped a secret photo, but Evelyn didn't argue. She'd been judged by appearances her whole life, for her hands, her work, her simplicity. Just as she stood to leave, the pilot arrived. His expression carried irritation rather than authority. "We don't have time for confusion," he sighed, glancing at Evelyn like she was an inconvenience. She looked around at the laughing faces and said quietly, "You don't have to force me. I know when I'm not welcome." The cabin went silent as she reached for her purse and started down the aisle. But then she stopped. Evelyn pulled out her phone, tapped a few buttons, and waited. Seconds later, the pilot's phone buzzed. Then the businessman's. Then the woman in pearls. Their smiles vanished. On each of their screens appeared the same name, Evelyn Maynard, founder and CEO of Maynard Agriculture and owner of Maynard Aviation. Whispers turned into gasps. The same woman they had mocked for being out of place was one of the most successful agricultural entrepreneurs in the country, a billionaire who owned an entire fleet of private jets. The pilot's face paled. The flight attendant froze. The laughter died instantly. Evelyn simply smiled and said softly, "All my life, people have judged me for my hands and my clothes. But it's these hands that feed families across this nation. You thought I didn't belong here, but perhaps you just didn't see who I was." She calmly returned to her seat. This time, no one spoke. The silence in the cabin was louder than any insult. When the plane landed, a black limousine waited beside a gleaming private jet parked on the runway. Passengers watched in disbelief as Evelyn stepped out, greeted by her own pilot and crew. She hadn't flown commercial out of necessity. She had done it out of humility. Her private jets were being serviced that morning, and she'd simply chosen to fly like everyone else. The lesson hit hard. Never judge someone by their appearance. The world's most powerful souls often wear humility, not designer labels. If this story moved you, please like the video, share it with someone who believes in kindness and respect, and subscribe to Kindness Corner, where real stories remind us that character shines brighter than status.